Hey, what's up, everybody? This is another episode of the YouTube channel. I want to thank everybody for stopping in. This is going to be the beginning of our interview and press conference episode as we are transitioning from the University of Louisiana Monroe to Nebraska. There are multiple coaching moves happening currently in our online dynasty. We're going to jump into all that today. Before we get into that, I wanted to show you the offers we've made for a new coaching staff here in Nebraska that we're bringing with us. Brandon Nicholson, who's being offered by Kansas State. Hoping we can land him. And our defense coordinator, Jeremiah Higgins, I'd really like to land him. Metro Atlanta's a heck of a pipeline. We'll see what happens with that as we go through. We'll catch you here in just a second for the press conference interviews. Hello, and thank you for being here today. Thank you for that great entrance from the Nebraska Fighting Band, marching band, their fight song, Hail Varsity. Good evening to everyone. I would like to begin by welcoming everyone here and saying thank you for being here today. These past few weeks have not been easy. They have been tough for not only me, but for my family as well. I am honored to be sitting here today as the next head coach of Nebraska football. This school has a long and cherished history of winning. 15 national championships, dominated the 80s and 90s. But now, we have not had a winning season since 2016. Only 15 winning seasons since our last national championship win being in 2015. Or 1997, I apologize. I am here to tell you we will reestablish this program to its former glory. Before I open the floor to questions, I would like to thank the University of Louisiana Monroe for giving me a chance to lead a college football program. I want to thank all of my former players for buying into our system and producing the first bowl win in school history at the University of Louisiana Monroe and coming one game shy of the college football playoff. ULM will always have a special place in my heart and my family's, but home is now Lincoln, Nebraska, as we will bring back national pride, national glory, and a national championship to Nebraska. Thank you. Go Cornhuskers. And you better believe the glasses are coming with me. And with that, we'll open the floor to questions. We have some media on the other end. All right,
Hello.
Travis.
Yes.
Go for it, buddy.
Okay. My question is first, from you leaving UL Monroe and coming to Nebraska, you leaving that great school, what is your plans on doing for Nebraska is the same as you did for UL Monroe?
Let me start by saying that's an excellent question. So I felt like we came in early as a staff and we established a winning culture at the University of Louisiana Monroe. We are going to kind of instill that same culture here at Nebraska. General Booty is a great quarterback, fifth-year junior, one more year left there at the University of Louisiana Monroe. But the prospect of coaching Dylan Raiola, the second coming of Patrick Mahomes, was just too great for me as a offensive coordinator-based coach to look at and pass over. So I think we're going to come out and we're going to dominate the Big Ten. I don't expect to win the Big Ten year one, but year two I expect to win the Big Ten every year after that and possibly win a national title.
Okay. All right. My next question is, from you winning a conference championship with UL Monroe, is your
Let me
plans...
stop you right there. We did not win the conference championship. We lost to Coastal Carolina, sir.
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough. That is completely my fault. My bad. My apologies. From going to the conference championship, you plan on leading Nebraska to multiple conference championships and then some.
Yeah, I believe LeBron James said it best. Not one, not two, not three, not four, not five, not six, not seven. We're going to win multiple Big Ten championships. I promise you that.
Fair enough. My last question is, for having a great quarterback like General Booty and going to Nebraska and bringing the energy that you had in UL Monroe, and you're going to bring the same energy that you to Nebraska. Are you plans are to come out pretty much with a bang, or are you just going to slowly get a feel for the team?
Um, Honestly, I would have to tell you that's a little bit of a trickier question. Um, I believe that it's going to depend on what we do recruiting wise here in the off season, what we get in the transfer portal. I expect there to be some guys that we're really interested in coming into the transfer portal this year. It really depends on what the former coaching staff has brought in compared to what we can bring in this offseason to whether we're going to come out with a bang or not. Um, Although I do have a completely revamped offense ready to go for us to start off at Nebraska. And yes, I will continue my play calling duties that I carried over from UL Monroe. That was part of the deal.
Fair enough. That is all my questions.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else?
Got a question over here.
Yes, sir. What can I do for you over there? Cody.
So you're leaving ULM. You're leaving a finishing fifth ranked offense. What made you leave such a dominant offense from Nebraska?
I had A1 players at UL Monroe. I won't lie about that. Um, I feel like a lot of the offense had to do with me as the play caller. These guys just executed the calls. I think Dylan Raiola and the young receivers we have with the speed we have on the outside compared to what we had at UL Monroe will make us an even more explosive offense, and that we will possibly have a Heisman contender every year. I would say so. Even though Hunter Smith finished fifth, I expect Dylan Raiola to be second, third, win the Heisman the next 2 to 3 years if he doesn't go pro after his junior season.
Okay. Did you have any plans, or were you attempting to bring any of your old team with you over here to Nebraska?
That would be tampering. I absolutely have no plans to bring any of my former players with me. I have not tampered in that at all. If they choose to hit the transfer portal, I would be hard pressed not to reach out to some of my players that I believed in, that bought into our system. I would really like to see some of those guys stay there and continue the dominance that we built at a team that really hasn't been historically good per se. So I'd really like to see them build off of what we did this year, their first bowl win in team history.
My final question for you: do you have anything in your mind that you want to change about Nebraska? Anything that you've learned or picked up at ULM that you want to bring along with you?
Losing sucks. I can't imagine what it's like for the fans of Nebraska. They were a powerhouse, like I said, in the 80s and 90s. They've only had 15 winning seasons since 1997. That was the year that I was born. They won the national championship 3 months before I was born. They haven't been dominant since then, realistically. I just want to reestablish that glory that they have at Nebraska. They're kind of like West Virginia, where I'm from originally. They don't have a really a good pro sports team, so the community in the state bonds to the University of Nebraska for that feel good moment. You know what I mean? So I really want to reestablish that within my team, within the state, within the university, and I just want to build a winning culture right out the gate. And 5 wins last year was not enough here in Lincoln. I personally am guaranteeing we put up at least 8 wins year one.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
I have
Any other questions?
I was going to say, I have one more question, followed by the question of Cody. By leaving a great team in UL and Monroe, uh, what made you want to come to Nebraska? I mean, besides the culture, and they haven't had a winning season, but what really was it? What made you want to come to Nebraska?
Honestly, like I said, the biggest thing for me was seeing how notoriously bad they've been for the last 27 years, especially the last 10. They hadn't had a winning season since 2016, and they still haven't to this day. We're going on 9 years now without a winning season in Nebraska. And granted, UL Monroe hadn't had a winning season since 2012 before I took over this season. So just looking at what I did at UL Monroe at a smaller university with less resources to help out the athletic departments, I think that we could develop something special up in Nebraska. I've put out offers to coordinators already, hoping to hear back from them this week so that we can go through the playbooks and get everything ready to go for next season. Right after this press conference, we'll be hitting the recruiting trail. Me and a little bit of my staff that I do have that I brought over with me from UL Monroe. But yeah, essentially, we just want to reestablish Nebraska back to its former glory. I know that I said when I took the job at UL Monroe, I was there for the long haul. Nebraska, I'm here for the long haul. We will make this the best football team in America again, if it takes me 10 years.
That's all my questions, Coach. Thank you for your time.
All right, thank you. Any other questions? All right, thank you guys. Be right back.
Yep.
As you saw there, that was the press conference announcing Ted Bundy-Gazy as the new head coach of Nebraska University. We're going to do something different right here. As you heard the interview questions coming from Travis and Cody, we're going to ask them some interview questions. They're going to be involved in each other's interviews. We're going to do that, their press conferences, right here, right now, on the channel. Inside look at what happens in an online dynasty. All right, so we're going to start with Cody, the new head coach at BYU. He just left Coastal Carolina, led them to a college football quarterfinal game. They unfortunately did not win against Clemson. So Cody, Robert here, important question. You led Coastal Carolina to the quarterfinals of the college football playoff. What are your early and long-term goals here at BYU?
Honestly, is just to build them back from they have just been dropping and dropping in the rankings ever in the last 3 to 4 years. And I want to build them back up into a nice, strong team. They're in the Big 12, so it's going to be difficult to get up to the top, but with joining the Big 12, that does get us into a more prestigious conference. So hopefully we can bring in the recruits and build this team to what it should be.
Okay, I really like that answer, but I had a follow-up question that I wanted to ask with it, if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
How do you feel recruiting-wise coming to the Big 12, right? Bigger school, better recruits want to come play for you, obviously, but you're in Provo, Utah, kind of in the middle of nowhere. How do you get those big star recruits like the former coaching staff that had landed the Zach Wilsons of the world, who was go on to be the third pick in the NFL draft?
Really, our main thing is obviously we're going to push that with being in the Big 12, it does put more eyes on the team, which puts more eyes on you. It'll hopefully get you the opportunity to move past the collegiate level. And now with the new NIL deals, hey, I mean, we're gonna throw some money at some people, give them some reasons to come here. I mean, you don't have to just struggle as a collegiate athlete anymore. So it's mainly just getting the Big 12 eyes on these guys so they can move up and make something out of this game that they've played all their life.
Those are some very fair points that you proved there, sir. I have one final question coming into this. You have 20 players on your roster right now that are graduating. one of those being your quarterback. How do your recruiting plans look as of right now? Is it build your own roster or win now? As of like Neil Brown at West Virginia, that's taken him 4 years. And to follow that question, who are you looking to start at quarterback between Patrick Anderson, the sophomore, and junior Jake Retzloff?
It's a great question. Um, Honestly, the young talent that we have on our roster right now, I love it. That's one reason why I came here. Is it's the young talent. It's honestly ready to win now. They, I'm going to try to bring the knowledge that I learned from taking Coastal Carolina to the conference championship and a little ways into the college playoffs and build these guys into just a better version of Coastal Carolina. The halfback here that we going to run with Miles Davis is a monster. I cannot wait to see him on the field. When it comes to the quarterback choice, it's a really difficult choice. Honestly, we're losing Gary Bohannon. He is, from every bit of tape that I watched, he was amazing. It does suck to miss out on using him. When it comes to who we're going to use, it's not even a toss up between those two. Honestly, Trayson, Trayson B. That's what he wants me to call him because his last name is the worst thing to try to pronounce. He's also in the running for it.
Okay.
It's honestly a hard choice. We're going to go through on the off season and get these guys through a little mini camp to see who's gonna really lead this team and who's gonna step up.
Coach, I apologize. You made me ask one more question there with your answer. If you don't mind answering it, that is. So you
Not at all.
named three different quarterbacks. They're all
Yes.
different in scheme. Whoever wins out in camp between those three guys or any incoming freshmen, is that how you're going to build your scheme going forward for next season? Or do you have a set scheme and you're going to try to throw whoever into that offense?
Honestly, I think every one of them are going to fit with what I want to do with this team. Um, Really, I don't have a set thing that I want to do with this team yet. Honestly, the run game was really good for us in Coastal Carolina, and like I said, the running back looks amazing. Everything that I've seen about him, and everything that every other member of this team has told me about him, they love him. He tears up this field. That's gonna be our main game at the beginning until we get our identity built here. Um, Honestly, I just want to see one of these three guys step up and just take control of the team and give me a reason to put them as at the leading position here.
Okay. Well, thank you, Coach, and good luck on the season upcoming, and good luck in the off season.
I appreciate it. Any other questions?
Yes, questions from me. This is Travis.
Travis.
Yes. Okay, from leaving Coastal Carolina and coming into BYU, which is, like you said, a very, very big school for joining into the Big 12. You say you're going to improve, make these players better from the ones that are graduating. Now, which one is going to be your priority?
Honestly, like I said to Rob here, that my priority is definitely going to be the running game. So Miles Davis, as long as I'm trying to make sure that he stays here and doesn't go to the NFL this year, just because I want to give him my coaching and what I did at Coastal Carolina and really make him blow up on the charts, especially in the Big 12 now. But he is my main focus. When it comes to building, Parker Kingston, our wide receiver, I really want to build him up and make him a star. He has all the athletics to be an amazing player, and I just hope to make them NFL stars.
That's a great answer, Coach. And you just spoke of Patrick Kingston, and last season he had 610 yards and 51 receiving. Do you plan on expanding those numbers on top with maybe possibly leading him to the Heisman?
I don't know about the Heisman. Wide receiver is a hard position to get it a Heisman, and usually it's a quarterback game. You see a running back and wide receiver hit it here and there, but that's going to be a generational player. Um, Honestly, I'm hoping that it really depends on our quarterback game. Um, uh, Gary Bohannon was unworldly, and he definitely put this team on his back. It didn't go well. We went 4-8 last season, but he did what he could, and I'm hoping that one of the new guys, just working with me, just elevates our wide receivers to another step.
That's a great answer, Coach. My very last question is, if there's any players from Coastal Carolina that hit the transfer portal, are you going to be the first one to call them?
There's a few that I would really like to have come over here with me if they decide to hit the portal. Honestly, Matthew McDoom was just a knockout guy. He was awesome on the field. He just intercepted anything that would really come near him, and he was amazing. I don't know if he would want to come all the way out here to Utah. That's a big thing. Because they're all the way on the East Coast, so I don't know if they want to come out this way. But I led them to a conference championship, led them into the playoffs. Maybe they'll believe in me and hit the transfer portal and come along.
Thank you, Coach. That's all the questions I have at this time.
Thank you. Any more questions?
No more from me.
I appreciate your time.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck. All right, Travis. We have a few
Yes.
questions to ask you, sir. So you left the University of Florida for Memphis after 1 year and not signing a single recruit to the University of Florida. Was that a big part of what made you take the job? Or was it just right time, right feel? And what is the plan at quarterback with Seth Hannigan graduated?
That's actually a very good question. No, my idea when I left Florida, there was pretty much a discussion with me and the president of the athletics director of Florida. They said, we honestly enjoyed having you here, but they said that we need something better. With the wins that we had this previous season, we made it to a bowl game. Yes, we won against Minnesota, but we want to move along to maybe one day get to the national championship, and we don't feel like it's you. So I just got off the phone with him. I let the whole NCAA know that I was a free agent, and Memphis gave me a call, and that's what made me move to Memphis. And I'll be honest, I love Memphis. I love their food. I love the culture of Memphis. It is amazing. Me being here for the past day or two, it's just been great. And the idea of not signing any recruits to Florida at the time, I could not get anyone to come. I've put offers out there. I've had schedulings. The other big schools got them before I could. That's all I could say. I was just I lost more than what I put out there.
Okay, let me follow that up. How do you think that you're going to change that where you couldn't seal the deal at Florida? How are you going to seal the deal at the University of Memphis, who's currently sitting as the 3 seed in the college football playoff?
I feel like
with a roster of their top 10 players, 7 of them being seniors that'll graduate before you get a chance to take over.
Yes, that's actually a very good question. I feel like the talent that was behind the starters and the kids that are graduating this year, who are great talents, it's sad for me to say that I'm not going to be able to coach them, but I am going to coach the next players behind them to greater heights. That is my goal. I am going to bring winning, even though they have done so great this previous season with the starters that they had, I'm going to bring winning to Memphis with the kids that are coming up today. And I am so excited to start.
All right, thank you, Coach. Good luck.
Thank you.
Got a question over here.
Yes.
So, my question here is, seems like Memphis has been on the up the past couple of years. Had a 6-6 season in 2023. They went 10-3. Now this year they're 12-1. What are you going to do with this team now that they're losing everybody to keep moving forward, to actually just not go back in that slump that they were in a few years ago?
Well, my goal is I'm going to motivate this team into being better than they were last year. Instead of losing one game, we're going to lose none. We are going to bring all the motivation, everything with us in every game. We are pretty much going to bring the hype that we've had last year into the same year that we had this year that is coming. I'm, like I said before, I'm excited to coach these kids that are coming up from the ones that are graduating. We are really looking forward, me and the people that I have brought from Florida, we are so excited to coach these kids. And honest to God, if any of the players come from Florida, well, that are entering the transfer portal, I would hope maybe they will come to Memphis. If not, if they see somewhere better, I hope they do great in their future. It's going to be amazing.
Coach, over here.
Yeah. What is your question?
Your last statement there. You just personally guaranteed that you guys will not lose a football game while you are the head coach of the Memphis Tigers. Would you care to go on record and say that again and guarantee that you're never going to lose a game as long as you're the head coach of Memphis?
I honestly am. How can I put this? I am talking out my crack right now. I am honestly looking forward to hopefully we go to undefeated, but that's just for here to say.
So you're backing away from those claims now. What is it, Coach? Are you going to win games or are you going to lose games?
My goal is to win, but we're going to have to wait and see.
Okay, thank you, Coach.
Thank you for your time.
One more question for you over here.
Yes, sir.
Now, pertaining to your statements of winning games, you have 3 quarterbacks that are going to be sophomores next year in your first season of Memphis. Do you have any ideas at all of a direction that you want to go with this team and which quarterback is going to lead you to those wins?
To be honest, that guy was crazy. The 3 quarterbacks that are pretty much the quarterback that I'm looking at is Harrison Boyd. I honestly think Harrison is going to do great. I feel like he has leadership skills for this team. I know he didn't get to play last season. This year, I think he's going to blow it out of the water. I think we're going to have a very good season this year.
Thank you, Coach.
That's all I have to, Coach.
By the way, his name is Harris Boyd.
Yeah, Harris
I want
Boyd.
to learn those names. So.
And if you would like to ask Arlington Maiden if he'd like to enter the transfer portal, I hear that Nebraska is looking for a solid backup.
Well, the thing is that I can say one thing to Nebraska. Good luck on that.
It's okay.
Thank you.
Rumor has it that Nebraska and DJ Lagway have already been in talks before the transfer portal from Florida. So.
Okay.
All right. I think that's all we got. Thanks again for watching, ladies and gentlemen. This has been another episode of Never mind. It's not the UL Monroe Dynasty rebuild anymore. This is the first episode of the Nebraska homecoming rebuild, baby. Listen, this is about to be a bumpy ride. Every game, every video, get it right here on Rondo Man Gaming. Like, subscribe, share, tell your friends, tell your mother, tell your grandmother. Give them a kiss from me. And make sure that you tell somebody you love them today. Thanks again. Peace and love.